Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the special broadcast on the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Welcome. I'm happy if you're tuning into the Big Boot Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Lando the Sports Mando. If you tuned in tonight, we greatly appreciate it. Hoping everybody's having a wonderful holiday. Been spending time with family, being able to pop some fireworks, going crazy. It's always a wonderful time to celebrate with the family, close friends. America is turning 247 years old today. Crazy. Hopefully, I know it seems like this country is not moving in the right direction, but I always have hope. I believe in the people, and as they say, a nation is only as good as its people. And I have not lost faith within the people. But before I get into our today's special show, y'all, there's something I want to do in celebration of America. So bear with me. If I cry, please forgive me. But it's so beautiful to hear. Be America's national anthem performed by Chris Stapleton himself, the legend.
Chris Stapleton. Oh, sing by the dawn's early light. Oh, so proudly we hailed and twilight has gleamed, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and rock his regular through the night that I fled was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, land of the free and the whole of the brave.
Whew. All right. Whew. That was Chris Stapleton singing our national anthem at this past year's Super Bowl, and between the Eagles and Chiefs. It was very touching. It was so beautiful. But today, y'all, I won't be talking about any sports topics. Today, we will be getting into special. Today we'll be talking about the movie requests that subscribers have sent me through social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all that good stuff. And whichever four movies had the most comments, we'd be able to talk and discuss them. But thank you for the audience for tuning in. David, appreciate you. What up, bro? What's up, dude? Hey, Hey, Dylan, I'm glad you can join me, man. Appreciate you. Hope you are well. Audience, shout out to, like I said, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Yeah, actually, that's Dylan, that's going to be one of the movies we're talking about. So we have the movies we got football, basketball, and baseball. And then the last one was a hockey movie. And I will let you know the movies we'll be discussing today. So for football, football will be first. Everlasting Squad. Hey man, thank you so much. So the football movies, it was close. It was between Waterboy, Gridiron Gang, or Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans wound up getting the most comments, so that'll be the first movie we talk about today. It was almost Waterboy, but Remember the Titans got the most comments today and last night. But hey, we can talk a little bit about Waterboy. I can mention them or squeeze them in. So remember, obviously, Remember the Titans. It's a really, really good football movie. It's probably going to go down as a classic. People are going to watch that movie for many years to come. Basically, the premise of Remember the Titans, it was the movie takes place back in 1971, West Virginia. Obviously, there's a little bit of racial tensions that were going on at the time between white people and black people. But obviously the schools got integrated at that time, so obviously black people and white people were able to go to the same schools together, but it did come with some problems. So obviously there was at a local high school we called the Titans. They were recently coached by one of their best coaches. He's been there. He was there for a long time, and this movie's based on a true story. It's starring Denzel Washington, a couple other good actors and actresses as well. But Denzel was leading the charge in that movie. Everlasting Exposures, do something crazy. Oh, well, I don't think I can do anything crazy right now at the moment. But I might do at the end of the show or towards the end of the show. You never know. So obviously the football team before had nothing but white players, but now they have to learn how to play with the black players that are coming into the school. So Denzel Washington winds up coming over to be the new head coach, and he has his assistant coach as well, who was played the actor. Forgive me, y'all. I know his first name, but I can't remember. I cannot remember his last name. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Yes, Ryan Hurst. I'm sorry. Ryan Hurst was the assistant coach who played Jerry Bertier. Oh, wait. Hold on. No, wait. I'm sorry. Gary. That was Gary, one of the football players. I'm sorry. Will Patton. Will Patton played Coach Bill Yost. So it's based on Bill Yost and Coach Herman Boone. So Coach Bill Yost was the actual head coach at this high school for a long time, but he had to learn to give it the times as more black athletes were coming in. So him and Denzel were a head coach. Denzel Washington's character, Coach Herman Boone, was the head coach, and then the other coach, Bill Yost, was the assistant coach. So as you can imagine, put on the LSU hat. I definitely can. Go Tigers, after all. Oh wait, hold up. Oh crap, a little tight. There we go. Whew. Yep. The GOAT indeed. Yeah, I do. Yeah, Dylan, I do watch UFC. We'll actually be talking some UFC this Thursday night when I have more people on and a full pod. Um, so where back what I was saying, I'm sorry, y'all. So what happened was, obviously it didn't go very well. They didn't get along with each other at first. There was a lot of tensions. Well, obviously people, saying, no, this is how you do this. No, you shouldn't do it like that. And then it came time for training camp. So they went off. So they went off into their where they normally do training camp, off on a local estate. And then Coach Herman Boone decided to have white and black players share a room together, just so they can build better team bonding. It didn't go well at first. The players were fighting with each other because they didn't agree with, their perspectives, pop culture, music, a lot of differences. So they were fighting with each other a lot. But there was one particular scene probably will go down as one of the best scenes in cinema history. Coach Herman Boone decides to take the players late in the night and take them out for a run, a jog, like what the military would do in boot camp. And they jogged for a long while until finally they all stopped and at the site of where the Battle of Gettysburg took place. They were near the graveyard site, and that's when Denzel Washington gives one of the best monologues in cinema history, where saying that a lot of men died on this ground. They fought together as one. They didn't like each other. They hated each other, but they came together as one, as a unit, and formed a brotherhood. And then at the end, he pretty much said that if we do not come together, and sorry about this. So my neighbors are doing fireworks outside, so sorry about the background noise. Wanted to mention that. So pretty much at the end of his monologue, he pretty much says that if we do not come together as one, then we will be no better than the men that lay dying in this, or excuse me, that lay in this ground here. And it was very meaningful. It definitely got through to the players because they knew they had to come together as one if they wanted to, have a really good football season. Yeah, happy 4th of July. And Brody, thank you so much for tuning in, man. Yeah, it was very meaningful. It was really meaningful. It's one of my favorite football movies. That and obviously Waterboy. So then after that, a lot of the players got along very well together. The big dude who was the center, he wasn't very smart, but he was, he had his head on straight. Like he knew what had to be done, and he was very good at listening, being observant. So they're going through practice, and then one day they were practicing. They had a late night practice, and they could not get this play right, and they could not finish until they did it correctly. And then after they ran it this one specific time, Gary, the linebacker, he charged at one of his teammates, and said, like, "Bro, what are you doing, man? You don't get this right. I swear to God, I'm gonna smack you so hard you won't even feel it, man." And he's like, "Give me a break," saying like, why you busting my balls over this? And then next thing they ran the play again, and this time it was the tackle that messed up. and then it was one of the black athletes, and then it looked like they were about to fight again, but all of a sudden they realized, they came to an understanding and said, it was a really special moment, pretty much, that it said left side, right side, left side, right side. And they're basically like saying, like, we got this, we could do this, and it was a really good brotherly moment. So then their bond got much closer with each other. Hell, then there's obviously the funny part in the when they're all in the locker room. They just finished practice, and they're saying your mama jokes. I don't know about Bertez's mama, and it's like, hey look, man, come on, don't be talking about Bertez's mama like me. If your mom was good enough, I would actually take her to the prom. Oh man, oh god, I love that was funny too. And then obviously, dude from California came, who was a transfer. He was supposed to be one of the quarterbacks. They called him Sunshine. And then, of course, Gary called him a fruitcake. He heard that, and he threw a football, hit right in the back of Gary's back. And then a little later on, they're in the locker room, and then old Sunshine, he kisses Gary, which was weird, because everybody's like, whoa, what the hell? And then they start to fight, and then Gary's like, man, what are you doing, man? It's like, bro, this dude just kissed me. And there's this like, what? And then some of the other teammates were questioning, like, thinking he was gay or whatever. But he was just playing a joke, kind of get back at Gary. And then they get home, and then obviously the parents and everybody, they're confused, a little outraged, like, are they really getting along with these black people? Like, what the hell, man? Like, just confused, like they're like, thought they like warped their minds or whatever. But no, they really became a team. They became a unit. And pretty much toward skip a little over, guys. They pretty much finished with a perfect season. Of course, there were some issues along the way. Kurt Boone was pretty much told, like, if you don't have a good season this year, then you're automatically out, like you're fired. And he just got hired for the job. And then, of course, as soon as he starts doing good, they pretty much won their first 10, 11 games. He gets told, Coach Bill Yost gets told that you are not going to be in the Hall of Fame if you continue to be alongside this man. And Bill Yost is like, you know what? I want y'all to call a fair game, because the officials in the game were like calling a flag every play, because they were trying to help the other team win as much as possible. And Bill Yost said, look, if I go down, we'll go down together. Just do what you got to do. You call this game. You understand me? And he was like, and the officials like, all right. So they wound up winning the game, and Bill Yost didn't get elected into the Hall of Fame that year. But he realized, like, the team was more important. So obviously they wind up going into the championship game. Gary got into a car accident, which he was not able to play. So he had to watch the game from his hospital bed. So after that, they're in the championship game. They're struggling, but all of a sudden they pick up new life, and they're close to winning the game. And they run a trick option play. Both the quarterbacks are in the play, are in this particular play. So he snaps it to you got the black guy under center. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. He takes it, and it's an option play. As soon as he gets hit, he flips it out. Well, I'm sorry. Sunshine took it under center, and he flipped it back to old boy. Sunshine was laying blocks, and they scored all the way. It was the play that helped them win the championship, and they wound up and they sealed themselves in school history. it was a perfect season. And obviously a very, very good song came out of that movie. Na na. It was na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. Now that was that song, and then obviously "Ain't No Mountain High." That was that was a song that also came from that movie. It really set the foundation for the movie because come on, who couldn't get to it? Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. Such a banger. And then obviously later, at the end of the movie, it kind of fast forward about 10 years or so, and Gary died in another car accident. So, and his name is actually in that high school where the Titans played. And of course, some of the players that were on that team, most of them wound up going to college. I know Sunshine, he wound up playing at South Carolina or getting a scholarship to South Carolina. So yeah, they really were able to move on and do wonderful things in their lives. And just to combat everything they did in that movie, racism and all that, it was really a wonderful movie, and I can watch that movie like any time of the day or any time of the week. One of my favorite movies. But yeah, guys, what was audience? What was your favorite part about Remember the Titans? Any particular scene or any particular moment in the movie that you really liked? Just leave a comment down below. And once again, y'all, happy 4th of July. Hope y'all are having a wonderful holiday. But the second football movie that that was close was Waterboy, which Waterboy is more of a comedic movie, but stars hey, yeah, bro, those Yo Mama jokes were crazy. I especially like the one where the big boy came in the center and he was like, "Man, I just gave Your Mama a piggyback ride and she weighs more than me." Oh man, that one was the best one. That one was the best one. Oh man, but talk a little bit about Waterboy. Waterboy was more of a comedic movie with Adam Sandler. He had a really thick accent in that movie, and he pretty much gets picked on and bullied a lot, like as a kid and as an adult, for just being a water boy, like bringing water to the players. But one day he just absolutely loses it, tackles the quarterback, and like knocks him out cold because he just lets out all his anger and frustration. Yeah, that's another good one too. Oh man, so moving on to the baseball movie that won. The baseball one was close to. It was either between the Sandlot, the original Sandlot, or it was A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks, Madonna, and Rosie O'Donnell. We didn't really get a clear winner on that, but so I'm gonna let y'all decide on that one, audience. Do you want me to do the original Sandlot that came out in 1978, or do you want me to do A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks? I'll let y'all decide. You can take your time, guys. Moneyball. Dylan, I'm sorry, I meant to say Moneyball was close too. Moneyball almost had it, but only had like two or three people say Moneyball. All right, so you got the original Sandlot. Okay. So, audience, if you're just tuning in, the question I asked her, I'm going to let y'all decide. You can leave a comment down below. Happy Gilmore. Well, that was actually that was actually the only golf movie that was mentioned in the comments earlier today. Air Bud, which Air Bud? Because there were multiple Air Buds, right? There was one about football. There was one basketball one too, correct? And then there was one about hockey. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dylan, you're right. There's not really many good golf movies. The only other golf movie I can think of is that one with Shia LaBeouf. I don't know if y'all seen that one, but Shia LaBeouf did a golf movie. If y'all know the name of that one, let me know, because I've seen that movie, but I can't remember the name off the top of the hand. But Happy Gilmore was the one that took the lead for golf. Oh, the basketball one. I've seen the basketball Air Bud like many a times. Well, not many a times. I'm sorry. I've only seen Air Bud like twice. Oh well, Everlast. I'm sorry. Look, this is a sports podcast. I know what's happening in Ukraine, but that's not one of the topics tonight. I'm sorry. All I'll say about that is I hope everything is going all right in Ukraine. I haven't really been following up about that story. Honestly, it's just, yeah. The greatest game ever played. Okay. I knew it was something like that. I just wasn't too sure. But that's the only good golf movie that I remember. Obviously, if you want to count Caddyshack, but I don't really think Caddyshack was focused on golf. That was just kind of like more of a comedic movie. There wasn't really a whole lot of golf in that. But the two golf movies that I really know is The Greatest Game Ever Played or the Happy Gilmore. But going back to baseball, which baseball movie would y'all like me to discuss? Oh yeah, that's a good one too. No, Dylan, surprisingly or not, nobody said Rudy. Not a single person said Rudy. Rudy is a great football movie. All right, so we got money. All right, so we got Moneyball. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all decide. So we could do Moneyball, the original Sandlot, or we can do League of Their Own. A League of Their Own. The Longest Yard. Oh, that's another good football movie with Adam Sandler. Nobody said The Longest Yard either. So, wait, there were two Longest Yards. Are you talking about the original Longest Yard or the Longest Yard with Adam Sandler? Thoughts on Dodgeball? I love Dodgeball. Dodgeball's great. Bad News Bears. Oh, Bad News Bears is good. Y'all were giving some good suggestions. Well, Everlast, I will say I have watched a lot of movies over my time. I'm a big movie guy. Sports movies are my thing. So obviously I've seen the original and new Bad News Bears. I prefer the original Bad News Bears. I don't really like the new one. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all prefer the original Bad News Bears, or y'all like the newest one? And then obviously with Dodgeball, the only Dodgeball movie I've seen is obviously Underdog, Dodgeball, a true underdog story. Yeah, you always have to love the originals, you know. Oh, you never. I'm sorry if I say your name right. Your name wrong. I'm sorry. Revo. If I said your name wrong, you haven't seen the original Bad News Bears? Oh my God, it's a classic. Talladega Night. Old Ricky Bobby. I know so many quotes from that movie. You better shut your ass up, kid. I'll shove your ass in that microwave. Shut up, you old fart. Damn, I guess these are my grandkids. Oh man. I love Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell was amazing in that movie. Another line I like from that movie is when he gets with that girl later on in the movie, and he's just like, they start making out and stuff, and he's just like, oh, Scar, y'all gotta turn away. We're about to start making animal noises. Oh my God. Yes, it is. And obviously, who could forget the most famous quote? If you ain't first, you're last. That's what you told me, Dad. Well, damn, Bobby, I was probably high when I said that. Oh man, I love that movie. I know, right? Here, believe but guys, real quick, I know I asked a question about the baseball movie, but just this is a personal question for you, audience. Leave a comment down below. What is your all-time favorite sports movie? Your all-time favorite sports movie. Leave it down in the comments. It could be any sports movie, and see what kind of answers we get. Okay, Brady, The Blind Side, Happy Gilmore, Cars. Hey, that's a good one. Bloodsport. Bloodsport. I've heard of that, but I haven't seen that. What is that about? Revo, if you can give me a quick synopsis of that movie, of what Bloodsport is. I've heard it, but I haven't seen it. Cars is a good one. It's a fighting movie. Okay. I've seen some fighting movies. I will say, boxing movies. Never Back Down. Ooh, Never Back Down is a good one. Cars 2 is even better. I can agree with that. Cars 2 is better. Everlast, did you like Cars 3? Did you think Cars 3 was good? Dylan, Never Back Down is a good one. I will say there are a couple boxing movies that I really like. Obviously, Rocky, Creed, Creed, and obviously Southpaw. If y'all remember Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal killed that movie. He did a fantastic job. Yeah, I never saw the second one. I've seen the first one, but I never saw the second one. Yeah, I know. Southpaw was a great boxing movie. Has anyone here seen Southpaw? Yeah, he was. Yeah, Brokeback Mountain was good too. I actually only seen bits and pieces of that, but I know. I think Jake Gyllenhaal won an award or Academy Award for that movie. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal is a handsome man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie about that. He recently did a war film, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, The Benchwarmers. Who can forget about The Benchwarmers? Another comedic baseball movie. Oh man, we're getting some good ones. And Reverend, I'm sorry, my favorite Cars character would probably have to be oh God, it's really close between Mater and what the blue car. What was the blue car's name? The girl car. Oh God, was her name like a J or something like that? That wind up falling in love with Lightning McQueen. I can't remember her name. Yeah. I mean, and like I said, it's close between Mater and her. She was a Porsche. Yeah, she was a Porsche. She was kind of thick. Yeah, didn't they kind of make a joke in the first Cars movie, like Lightning saw a sticker on her bumper or something like that, and it was kind of like an adult joke or something like that. Oh man, I can't. I would probably have to say Mater though. Mater killed it. Innuendos. Yeah, that's what a lot of like Pixar animation films like to do, throwing some innuendos there. Yeah, she did get that trunk. She did have that trunk. Oh man, but I probably have, yeah, the original Cars is probably my favorite. I love the original Cars because the original Cars was how I got into listening to Rascal Flatts, their song "Life Is a Highway." Probably one of my all-time favorite songs by Rascal Flatts. Life is a Highway is like amazing. No Everlast. I did play Rocket League for a little bit a few years back, but I don't really play it that much anymore. Ooh, Space Jam. And Brady, oh man, Brady, I'm so glad you brought up Space Jam. Nobody in the comments said Space Jam. I was very surprised. Best esports game ever. I mean, I'm sure it is. I've seen clips of professionals play Rocket League, and I just would get absolutely destroyed. I cannot fly in the air like the professional Rocket League players do. But if you're really good at Rocket League, I hope you can be a professional one day. Or if you are a professional, kudos to you, man. Keep up the grind. But Dylan, my favorite sports movie, Champ 1. Hey, good for you, man. Hope you can continue the grind. Oh, Brady, he is awful. Oh, damn. Brady, you know Everlast? Or Everlast, do you know Brady? But my favorite all-time sports movie, Cars Tokyo. Oh, Cars Tokyo. Are you talking about like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, or are you talking about like when the Cars movie they went to Tokyo? One of the two. Yeah, just let me know, Brody, which one you're talking about. But my favorite sports movie. My all-time favorite sports movie would probably have to be Coach Carter with Samuel L. Jackson. I love Coach Carter. I can watch Coach Carter all day, every day. Like that movie really speaks a lot to me. What is Cars Tokyo? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure if he's talking about like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, if he's talking about that, or is he talking about in Cars 2 where they had a little part where they went to Tokyo or did a race in Tokyo, I believe. Cars dubbed in Japanese. Oh, okay. Cars dubbed in Japanese. Oh, okay. So is it like an anime? Have I seen the new George Foreman movie? Oh, no, I wanted to watch that movie. I heard good things about it. Revo, have you seen George Foreman? I know who George Foreman is. It's he was a really, really, really good boxer. I heard it was good though. I haven't had the chance to see it yet. But if you've seen it, what were your thoughts about it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it mid? It did look interesting. I actually saw the trailer for it a couple weeks ago when I went and saw Transformers: Rise of the Beast. They played a little trailer for it. It looked really interesting. But I will definitely give it a watch when I can. But Sally, that's her name. And I was thinking her name started with a J. It's Sally. Thank you, Brody. Appreciate that. Yeah. But sorry guys, I kind of went off topic. So my fault about that, y'all. So we do so Everlast, what we do is we talk mainly just like sports stuff, any kind of topics happening in the real world. Or sometimes we'll talk about, or we could be talking about the sports video games that could be releasing. Reva, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I love y'all. I love y'all too. Thank y'all so much for coming in tonight. Really appreciate it. Well, so my favorite is Boost. PJ2K23 is bad. Damn, well, I was actually thinking about buying that, Dylan. But thank you. I'm glad you told me something. But Everlast. So Thursday we'll go back to a regular show. Where I'll have a full audience and we'll talk about the major topics happening around, like obviously the moves in NBA free agency. We'll have some football. We'll talk a little bit about professional baseball, and we'll try to get some UFC and soccer in there as well. And Brady, yes, I'm actually very excited about NCAA because, man, I am tired of playing Madden. I'm so done with Madden. Madden can just like, woo. I'm so done with that, man. Whew. I'm really excited for NCAA. I just hope Electronic Arts doesn't mess it up. Yeah, just go look at the many YouTube clips of people playing Madden and they absolutely raging, or something happens that's not supposed to, or doesn't happen in real life. So guys, since we had a tie with baseball movies, I will do the original Sandlot first, and then I will do Moneyball. The original Sandlot came out in 1978. Basically, the premise of it was, how do you feel about NCAA college players being paid? No. I will. My personal opinion about NCAA players getting paid. I think it's a good thing. I was kind of against it at first, but pretty much now the way I see it is, I think it's good for college athletes because now they can kind of make some money off their likeness. I was just worried that if they did get paid, that they would lose the desire to want to play the sport that they love, or lose the desire to want to play hard for their university. These are young kids, in college, and I hope they didn't, I was afraid that they would spend money in ways that would not be beneficial for them. Like they would go blow it at a casino, or, go blow it at a club, or gamble, because everybody has, those certain tendencies. But so far, I think it's working pretty well. Yeah, most definitely. It's definitely helping the women athletes for sure. Like, look at Angel Reese at LSU, all the NIL deals that she's gotten. She's making Angel Reese is making more money than professional WNBA players. That's crazy. She doesn't want to go to the WNBA anytime soon. But so far there hasn't been any. And Livy Dunn too. Livy Dunn is a gymnast, very talented gymnast at LSU, probably one of the best in the country. So, and guys, if you could clarify in the audience in the chat, is Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens, are they like dating, or have they been spending a lot of time together? I was hearing a rumor or speculation that Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens were hanging out with each other a lot. I didn't know if that was true or not, or if y'all seen any stories related to that. Yes, he is. Skeen is a dog, and he has a wonderful mustache. No, this is yeah. So back, I was saying about the Sandlot. The original movie Sandlot came out in 1978. Basically, it was a group of young kids just getting out and playing baseball together. I'll go one day. Hey man, hey Dylan, never give up hope, man. I believe in you. I think you can do it. I mean, it seems like that almost every guy that goes into Air Force and they get transferred out of Air Force has a wonderful mustache. I don't know if y'all seen Top Gun or Top Gun Maverick. There were a couple fighter pilots in that movie that had a mustache. I think Miles Teller had a really good mustache. I don't know if it was him or another character, but it's always somebody in the Air Force. Shout out to all the military people. And if there's anybody in the chat that's military, former military, appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for doing so much for our country. I'm doing very good. Yeah. Yeah, Dylan, thank you so much for your service, buddy. Really, really much appreciated, man. And to anyone else that's in the service. So these group, so going back to the Sandlot, so basically these group of kids, young kids, they all go out and to this backyard area. Sam is DOD. God bless America. Oh yeah, God bless America indeed. Dylan, what is DOD? Sam is a friend of mine or is a friend of me and Dylan that we know. Sorry, Dylan, can you tell me what DOD is? I'm sorry. Department of Defense. Okay, thank you. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Sam, being a part of that. Hope you continue up the good work. Dylan, are you still in the service, or are you retired from the service? Oh, you're out of service? Okay. Hey man, well, that's good. I hope your time in the military was good. I hope they treated you with the dignity and respect that you deserve. And like I said, Dylan, thank you so much for serving our country, man. Yeah, man, we getting into it tonight. I want to do a little quick shout out. Whew, little round of applause. Oh man, but I will say, yeah, happy 4th indeed. I will say, one of my favorite quotes from the Sandlot, the original Sandlot, was when Babe Ruth, he dreams about Babe Ruth, or his conscience of Babe Ruth comes to the baseball guy, and he says, remember, follow your heart, kid, and remember, heroes get remembered, but legends never die. That quote has stuck with me for so long. Oh, it was like it was a dog. I can't remember what type of breed of dog it was. But basically, if you ever seen Cujo was like an old horror movie about a dog that gets bit by a bat, and he gets like rabies or some kind of disease. And he winds up turning like rabid. But basically, the dog that was in the Sandlot was the same. Was it a Rottweiler? Okay, I thought it was the same dog like that was in Cujo, but it could have been a Rottweiler. I could be wrong. Yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes from the movie Sandlot. That quote just really strived me to want to be successful in life, and not wanting to give up, to always persevere. and to leave a you want to leave a legacy behind because everybody at the end wants to a mastiff. Okay, thank you, Brady. Appreciate that. It was a mastiff. Okay, those are good look. Those are great dogs, I think, or they're like big dogs. Yeah, and then yeah. So Sandlot was a really good baseball movie growing up, and then Moneyball with Brad Pitt. That movie was based on a true story about the 2002. They were the Oakland Athletics. They said basically Brad Pitt was the general manager of the Oakland Athletics in the movie, and he pretty much got players. How do I feel about Michael Vick and his involvement in dogfighting? Well, I mean, obviously Michael Vick should not have been doing that. That was, that's horrible. I mean, because he was already making millions in the NFL, and he already established a name for himself in the National Football League. So I don't see why he needed to do that, but yeah, I know, Dylan. I love the system they use too. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that in a second, but yeah, it seems crazy because when Michael Vick came out of prison to join the Philadelphia Eagles, it seemed like he was better when he got out of prison than before he was in prison. Yeah. I would say he redeemed himself. I mean, he definitely turned his life around once he came back into the NFL, and he goes to the penitentiaries to this day to spread the message to young people or to inmates to say or he shares his story to hopefully his message can spread and bring good positivity to his area, to his community. And he also donated or went around to local animal charities as well. Ever since I've seen that, they got 37 wins vacated, which is during Les Miles' tenure. I mean, I didn't really think it was necessary. I don't really understand why people or why they think that was going to do anything. And it was also, yeah, I think it's ridiculous too. I mean, because why? What is it going to do? I mean, the LSU still keeps their national championship they won in 2007. Yeah, I mean, definitely for sure. I mean, if you think about it, every university and program should be investigated. I mean, same thing with pro sports. Everybody is doing something shady underneath the table. They're just doing a good job not getting caught. Yeah, I actually did see that. It's crazy. But I don't know. Do y'all think that in college sports like universities and pro sports that they're all doing something underneath the table that they shouldn't be doing, like shady stuff, and they're just not getting caught? Oh, Bagman. Yeah, I mean it was like a few years ago. Oh yeah, I mean that's what I believe too. I mean, obviously, there have been pro sports teams that have been penalized or caught doing stuff like the Houston Astros in the 2017 World Series were penalized or caught cheating for having mics and stuff in their uniforms. And the Houston Astros players and the fans will never live that down. And then I hate to bring this up. The Saints got caught in 2012 for the Bountygate scandal. Players were caught on tape paying each other. Yeah, Duke. The situation with Zion Williamson at Duke. Yeah, that was something. Hopefully Zion can recover. No, I seen it on Netflix, but I actually didn't watch. I didn't watch it. I haven't had time to watch that, but I know what movie you're talking about, Dylan. People sports betting on the Special Olympics. People, you're allowed to bet in the Special Olympics? Why? That's kind of messed up. Like, I mean, the Special Olympics, I mean, it's not really like a major sport event. I mean, the Special Olympics is hold for people that, well, not necessarily disabled, but they're something's wrong with them mentally. I mean, they're still outstanding citizens, but it's just like, why would they allow sports betting on Special Olympics? That's kind of messed up. That's pretty messed up. I would not bet on that. Oh boy, I didn't even know they were doing that. That's crazy. I mean, honestly, the only sports I betted on have been baseball, football, basketball, and I've done some golf here and there, but nothing too major. The only sport I haven't like actually gambled on, which I do kind of want to gamble on one day, is horse racing. I do want to kind of do horse racing. I vote the underdog every time. Yeah, that's a problem, Dylan. There's too many underdogs. Oh boy. Yeah, but going back to Moneyball, basically the system that Brad Pitt's character used in the movie was he went off of the player statistics. Like how many hits they got, how their on base percentage, their slugging percentage. He was basically finding acquiring players that could get on base, that could help the team. And people were looking at him like he was crazy. Like, no, that's not how you should do it. You need to look at players for their athletic ability, how long they can play for you, like just stuff like that. But he defied the odds, and sure enough, in 2002, the Oakland Athletics set a MLB record for winning 23 straight games in a row, which was broken. That was broken in 2016 by the Cleveland Indians. They won 24 or 25 games in a row, something like that. Well, they're now the Guardians, but at the time they were still called the Cleveland Indians. Yeah, well, the Oakland Athletics are not doing too well. Whew. Well, Everlast, that's a really touchy subject or topic to talk about. If you want my personal opinion on that, I mean, I have nothing against transgender people at all. I love every kind of people. I don't hate anybody. I don't dislike anybody unless if you give me a reason to. But my thing about that is I personally don't think that it's fair, because at the end of the day, a trans woman is still a biological male, even though you cut off certain parts. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you cut off certain parts on your body, you can't really change your actual biological makeup. I mean, no matter how much testosterone or hormones you take, it's just, it doesn't really help. I mean, you've seen how many, look at how many clips where men have dominated women in certain sports. Like there's a couple of pro track and field events where a woman sprinter was like way ahead of everybody, and then Leah Thomas is a big one. Leah Thomas actually got beat in a swimming event not too long ago. I saw a video about it about a month ago. She got beat out, got beat out finally. But this female sprinter was like way ahead, and then all of a sudden here comes this male sprinter like way in the back, just overtook her immediately, and he wasn't even running that fast. She was running full sprint, but it didn't even look like he was trying, and he just overtook her immediately. Or I'll give you another example. The U.S. women's national soccer team had a scrimmage game against
high school boys in a soccer matchup, and they got demolished. Like the women's soccer team, they lost like 2-0 or something like that, and they just couldn't keep up. The women's soccer team could not keep up with the men at all, and these are like young high school boys, like 16, 17 years old. Maybe some of them are 18. Or I'll give you another one. Andy Murray, tennis player, asked Serena Williams, "Hey, you want to play a match together?" And Serena Williams declined it immediately because she knew if she had a tennis match against Andy Murray would like demolish her or like, embarrass her on national TV. And she said it herself. Serena said, like, if the men just are so much faster, they hit the ball harder, she's happy playing women tennis, Ooh, that's a tough subject. That's tough. I don't think steroids should be used in sports, but I do think marijuana should be legal to use because marijuana can definitely be helpful to any athlete as long as they use it, for medical purposes and don't, abuse it. Like Calvin Johnson, when he played for the Detroit Lions, he said after every game, he said he took marijuana after games because he just wanted to get rid of the pain. And I didn't blame him for it. I mean, Calvin Johnson got rocked around so much. You see how people tackled him? They were trying to knock him out the game. Oh my God. Hockey players on steroids. Oh my God. There would probably be at least 8 fist fights a game. And the only thing with steroids is it just makes you more like, it makes you angry, aggressive. Like you just want to take on the world. I think baseball should have a steroid league though. I don't know. I mean, I've seen baseball players be successful without steroids. I mean, I think it'd be funny for shits and giggles just to have a steroid league. I think that would be funny. But no, I mean, steroids will definitely give you a really clear advantage over anything because it makes you stronger. You're more aggressive. You just got to be careful not to overdo it. I mean, because obviously Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and a couple other MLB players were not going to be allowed into the Hall of Fame because apparently they got caught with steroids. Yeah, I mean there are some side effects to steroids. The side effects to steroids. I mean, it kind of. Oh, sorry about the background noise, y'all. The side effects of steroids, I mean, it can kind of ruin your personal life because, like I said, it makes you more aggressive. You kind of lose your common sense thought. Like you tend to get angry more. I mean, I think it'd be worse if they were on steroids because, I mean, obviously, if you're a NASCAR driver and you're drunk, I mean, obviously, you won't be able to focus and be able to keep your car straight. I see what you mean. But I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, I was really I don't think Barry Bonds should be banned from the MLB Hall of Fame. Because, I mean, honestly, him and Mark McGwire that year, they saved baseball. Oh, elaborate? Okay. I'm sorry. So going back to the side, another side effect that steroids have, it does kind of cause chest issues or chest pains, and it can kind of messes with your heart rate if you take it too much. And it can kind of messes up other body parts in certain ways. Like it will kind of mess up your muscles. And then for guys, I mean, I've heard from I've seen a couple stories about guys that have or men that have taken steroids. It's messed with their groin area or their junk, if you will, and they've kind of had trouble in their sex life. But I mean, those men that took that, they took steroids on the daily. So I mean, that's what, like I said, as long as you don't overdo it, you know. Oh, thank you, Dylan. I really appreciate that, bro. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I mean, I know, you know, I mean, there's so many other things you could be doing right now, popping fireworks and all that, but you chose to be here. So I really appreciate everyone being in here tonight. No, they did an open street race in Chicago. Oh, wow. How did that go? Yeah, I mean, steroids do they do help you have bigger muscles. I don't know about the handsome part. The handsome part just depends on your genetics, who your mom and dad is, and hopefully, you know, you get their good genes. Wow. I did not hear about that. An open street race in Chicago. Wow. That sounds like fun. I do like drag racing. My aunt's a drag racer. She races on the motorcycle. She's actually one of the winningest females in drag racing history, Angèle Sampey. Have I ever seen the movie Drive? Oof. Again, yeah. Sorry, Rebel. Damn. I've heard of that movie, but I haven't seen it. I know. I'm slacking here. I have heard of that movie, but I haven't seen it. But you know, going back to steroids, obviously, you know, most of the people that use steroids were very good. Ryan Gosling. I mean, bodybuilders use steroids all the time back in the day. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger and all of them. They were big advocates for that. I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger took any steroids when he was a bodybuilder. I could be wrong. Someone can fact check me on that. Ryan Gosling. Oh yeah, I love Ryan Gosling. Wow. You pray for. Ooh. Probably. I mean, man, I don't know, Brady. I think they can. I think that's probably what's going to happen because I mean, Prairieville High is going to want to get put on the map as quickly as possible. They're going to want to have the reputation like Santa Mara and EA do, and obviously Dutchtown for like the top schools in the district. Yeah, they'll definitely be Dutchtown's rival. Hopefully it won't affect Santa Mara and EA too much. Because I mean, like I said, I mean Santa Mara High School, Dutchtown High, and East Ascension High School. I mean, those are the top schools in Ascension Parish. But like I said, I mean, Prairieville High is going to try to get as much talent as they can because they want to get put on the map. Like they want to get recognized as a top school in the district. Yeah, I mean, Donaldsonville's got a good football team. I wouldn't say they're on par with Santa Mara, Dutchtown, and EA though. But I mean, yeah, they could be Donaldsonville's rival as well. Yeah, I think it's been a while. I think it's been a while since Santa Mara High School played Donaldsonville. I do remember when I was at Santa Mara High School. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was my sophomore year. They had a game against Donaldsonville. And like I said, I mean, you got Lutcher too. Lutcher's another big school, but they're not in the Ascension Parish district, obviously, but I mean, Lutcher always has a really good football team as well. Whew. Man, we're doing good. We're doing good tonight, guys. Thank you so much. Sorry, 1 second here. Oh yeah, Catholic. I never could stand Catholic. Go ahead, put this here. Let's see. What is it, 9:52? Okay. Yeah. But sorry, going back to the Moneyball movie. Moneyball is one of my favorite, another good baseball film. Brad Pitt killed that role, and there were actually some real life baseball players that were in that movie, or a couple of baseball players that made a couple of little cameo appearances. But basically, the reason why why Brad Pitt's character went in that direction to get players the way he did was just because they didn't really have the cap space like other MLB teams did. Like the Yankees had a huge cap space, and they could sign almost any player they wanted. So obviously, with a small cap space like that, you kind of have to work around certain things. If you won't be able to get the best player on the free agency market, but with what you can just try to get the best players that are available, and it wind up working out in their favor. But currently today, the Oakland Athletics are not doing very well. They're trying to move to Las Vegas and become the Las Vegas Athletics. We'll see how that goes. And obviously with basketball got some good ones. I know one person said Air Bud, which I thought was great. I completely forgot about Air Bud. And then another person said nobody said Space Jam. I was really surprised nobody said Space Jam. But Coach Carter, a couple people said Coach Carter, and Coach Carter is one of my all-time favorite basketball movies, or one of my favorite sports movies in general. Just because Samuel L. Jackson, I love Samuel L. Jackson. He absolutely killed it. That movie spoke to me in a way. Yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta talk. Don't worry, Dylan. I'll talk. I will talk about Rudy in a second. Rudy, because Rudy. How can you not talk about Rudy? But in Coach Carter, Samuel Jackson takes over a high school basketball team that struggled the past season, and they were just a bunch of misbehaving teenagers, acting like gangsters, thugs. But he came in there with a mission and a purpose that he wanted the kids to not only be good at basketball, but he wanted them to be great at academic scholars, which at the time, not really a lot of coaches focused on that. It was just about the sport. But, he made the players sign contracts. It's like you must maintain a 2.5 GPA average, attend all your classes, be on time, be a good student. It just, and then he didn't like the players throwing the N-word around a lot, which I really appreciated that too, because in my personal opinion, the N-word should not be thrown around so much like that. I know it's used as a greeting nowadays, but it just boggles my mind that a word that was used to demoralize a certain group of people was turned around to be used as a form of greeting. That's just my personal take about it. But just the way he was able to command the room and get his players respect. It was awesome. I really enjoyed that movie. And then real quick, I'm gonna go to Rudy. Excuse me. So Rudy was also based on a true story about Sean Astin plays Rudy. Who, if you don't know who Sean Astin is, he plays Sam in Lord of the Rings, one of my favorite sci-fi trilogies. But Sean Astin plays Rudy, and Rudy is he was a football player. Played in the state of Pennsylvania. Who he worked when he wasn't doing football, he was working as a Dylan Carpenter from Santa Monica committing to LSU. Oh, damn! I did not see that. Man, I'm so sorry. No, that's awesome. I've heard of Dylan Carpenter. But no, I'm so happy he's going to LSU. I think he's going to make a huge impact. Rova, I'm sorry, forgive me. I don't remember what sport he played. Could you remind me what sport he is, or what sport he participates in? But basically, Rudy was undersized. Plays football. Okay. I couldn't remember if it was football or baseball. But no, that's awesome. I think he's gonna be a great contributor to LSU. I did hear that LSU got another local guy from Monroe, Louisiana. He's a offensive lineman, 6'6", 310 pounds. Ooh, defensive end. That's even better. You can never have too many good pass rushers. I'm really excited about this season for LSU football. I might try to go to an LSU football game this year. I haven't decided which, but I definitely want to go to one. So going back to Rudy, Rudy was undersized. He wasn't the best athlete, wasn't the strongest, wasn't the most athletic, but he had heart. He played with so much heart and passion. He never quit. He never gave up. And despite all odds, he showed up to practice every day, not complaining, nothing like that. He played with his heart. But unfortunately, his best friend got killed in their coal mining business, or coal mining job that he was at. So that kind of set him on his path. He wanted to attend the university, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That was his dream, to play for them. So he was when he finally got accepted to Notre Dame, first thing he did was wanted to try out for their football team. Of course, he wasn't doing very well in training camp, but the coaches appreciated his heart, his passion, his love for the game. He never gave up. He always kept going. And basically, Rudy keeps going strong. And then throughout the movie, his players, his teammates start to respect him and appreciate him for always showing up, going to practice, giving everything he has. Like I said, never complaining, never bitching, nothing like that. Just playing the game of football. And then one day he sees in the newspaper that the Notre Dame's coach got fired and another one got hired, and he believed that was his chance of starting in a Notre Dame game would be diminished, like he wouldn't be able to play. So he was very outraged, and then he wanted to just quit and leave the team because he felt like he was being disrespected and not treated fairly. Like, he wanted to prove himself to the people that he was worth something. But one of the maintenance guys that keeps the Notre Dame field nice and clean, he was a black guy. He told him, why do you got to prove anything to anybody? It's not about it's not about you proving yourself to somebody. It's about proving to yourself of what you can do, what you're capable of. You don't need nobody's permission. You don't need nobody's favor. It's all about you. because he was the black guy, the maintenance guy. He was a former football player at Notre Dame, but he felt like he was, I know. Not quite yet New Year's, but we're 7 months into the 2023 year. We only got 5 months left. It's crazy. We're about to be in 2024 in 5 months. That's wild. But no, I mean, Rudy will go down as one of the top tier football movies in cinema history, because Rudy was able to start a game against Georgia Tech. Well, not necessarily start. He was on the kickoff. He was on the special teams, like kickoff, punt, and all that. And then on the very last play of the game against Georgia Tech, he was allowed to play one play on defense. And sure enough, he sacked the quarterback on the last play of the game. And his teammates picked him up and carried him off the field. And that has never happened. That has never happened again in Notre Dame history. But one of my favorite parts from Rudy is, there's two really good parts. The first one is where his teammates found out that he would not be able to start against Georgia Tech, so his teammates went into the coach's office and put their jerseys on his desk and say, "If Rudy does not play with us tomorrow, I'm not playing." Same goes for me, coach. And the players are just lining up in his out his office and just putting the jerseys on his desk. That was such a really heartfelt moment. You got a group of over 50 men laying their jerseys down, telling the coach, "We will not play unless this guy plays with us." That's unity right there. And then obviously, that last play of the game where he sacked the quarterback, and then everybody's just chanting Rudy, 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 and it just, it lives on, man. And, just watching that movie towards the end just gives you goosebumps. It's really good. And then last but not least, guys, I'm gonna go through Happy Gilmore. Why not? Well, actually, before I get into Happy Gilmore, there is one movie that I want to give a shout out to that somebody mentioned to me earlier today. Miracle. I don't know if y'all seen Miracle. That's about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team that wound up winning gold after they beat the undefeated Russian Olympic hockey team. That's another good movie I really like. No, Rudy didn't have a disease. Unless if he had something as he got older after he got to college and stuff. But Rudy didn't have any diseases. He just wasn't like the tallest guy. Rudy was short. He wasn't built very well. He wasn't built like an athlete. But it's just like he has so much heart, passion for the game. What was I saying? Oh, Miracle. Guys, leave me a comment if you've seen the movie Miracle. It's about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. Basically, a quick synopsis of that. The U.S. Olympic hockey team had struggled throughout the many years. They were eliminated very quickly from the event until one year in 1980, the Olympic Coach Hearn he was coaching the U.S. Olympic hockey team. He came in, was able to get a bunch of high school college players. High school basketball team. Oh, really? I did not know that. Damn, Brady, I did not know that at all. That's cool. Damn. Thank you for telling me that. I had no idea. No, but basically, Coach Herm got a bunch of college hockey players together for one goal to win the gold medal at the 1980 at the 1980 Olympics, Winter Olympics. Russia was obviously the favorite. Russia had won or had been a top tier hockey team for over 2 decades, and nobody was able to defeat them. But the USA hockey team was able to, after overcoming many trials, tribulations, and then finally coming together as a unit and having the support of the American people, they felt inspired, motivated to play against the Russians, and they wind up beating the Russian Olympic team by a score of 3-0. It's what they call the game Miracle on Ice. And Al Michaels was actually commentating that game. And he at the end when the final buzzer went off, he said, "Do you believe in miracles?" It really was a great moment in history. Yeah, I definitely will. I definitely need to look into that because I had no idea that happened, Brady. Miracle, so Miracle on Ice, and then so finally we're going to get into Happy Gilmore. Obviously, Happy Gilmore has lived in many people's hearts over the years. Another movie with Adam Sandler. Basically, after people watched that movie, they definitely wanted to hit the golf balls much differently. Oh my goodness. Man, just to get a running start to hit the golf ball. And it's crazy. When you go to Topgolf, that's actually one of the rules they have. It says, "We know you've seen the movie, so please do not hit the golf ball that way. Thank you very much." I just think it's funny. Oh man. But no, Adam Sandler seems to kill it when he gets a point in sports films. I mean, obviously he did Waterboy, The Longest Yard, Happy Gilmore. He seems to do a great job. That was awesome. But yeah, guys, that's all the movie topics or movies we were going to get into today. Requested by the audience. I know I kind of went on a little too long, just rambling about stuff. But I appreciate y'all so much for being part of the show. Thank y'all for leaving all the comments, suggestions, topics. I really do appreciate it. But before we go, was there anything that y'all liked about the show, or anything you want me to talk about? A real quick topic before I log off tonight. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate you, man. Brady, appreciate you too. Everybody else. Oh yeah, of course, man. The only reason I'm able to have a good podcast like this is because of y'all. Robo, thank you. Oh yeah, I definitely don't want to try to be mid at all. I definitely want to give you, my personal opinions about all the sports topics or any questions and comments or concerns that y'all have. I'm definitely going to give you my honest opinion for sure. The last thing I want to do is try to sugarcoat anything. But yeah, man. Yeah, thank you guys. Y'all are more than welcome to. I do this Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. And if you ever want to be a part of the show, hit me up, and then I will definitely try to reserve a slot for you. And of course, if you do decide to come on, I'll have an itinerary of topics in hand and what we'll talk about, and then I always like to go over with the guest of what we're going to talk about, so they have the mindset of what's going to be discussed. Thank you, Everlast. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, was there any topics or concerns or anything y'all wanted to talk about before I log off? Yeah, Dylan, have a good night, brother. Hope to see you soon, man. UFC, okay. Quick. I'll do a quick UFC thing. Shout out to Amanda Nunes, one of the best female fighters ever. She just retired about 2 weeks ago, and I really enjoyed watching her fights. And July 29th, Dustin Poirier will be fighting. See you next 4th. Yeah, thank you, man. Everlast, I hope y'all can tune into the show on Thursday night. Thursday night show will start at like 8:30, 8:40. If y'all want to tune in, you're more than welcome to. But yeah. Hopefully it'll be much sooner than that. I won't have to see you till next 4th. But y'all definitely have been a wonderful audience tonight. Thank y'all for everybody that tuned in. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, y'all. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful night, y'all. I'll catch everybody next Thursday night. Thank you so much.